Hey guys, welcome back to Gardening Young. So today we are going to be doing week 6 of the garden tour series. If you guys are new here, my name's Anna Grace. I grow in zone 7B here in my small backyard garden, and today we're just going to I'm going to take you through my garden. I want to show you everything. I feel like things have changed since last week, so I'm really excited to show you. I'm kind of running out of light here, so we're gonna try to do this as quickly as possible, but I'm so excited to show you everything that is going on because we are kind of starting to get some produce out of the garden, and it's really exciting. Today we are going to be showing you everything that's growing in my garden, so without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. Okay, so starting off, we're starting off here at this kind of, I like to call it my raised beds on stilts. I just have my cool weather things that really need to be harvested at. I've pulled out a few of the lettuces. I just pulled them out. I really need to pull this out. It's going to seed. It needs to be pulled out. Just some collards, some kale, things like that. My spring garden this year just never really did good, so I haven't really gotten anything out of this, but I did get a few salads and things like that, but I need to just pull it out and reset it so that I can plant some more in it. Okay, so right when you walk inside the garden, you have the potato, well, it used to be a potato bin. It used to have potatoes, but my dogs messed it up. So there's no longer potatoes, it's just an empty bed. Then over here we have our cherry tomato bed, which is doing really good, which I'm really happy about. So this one is called, these two right here actually are Sun Gold tomatoes. They're cherry tomatoes, and they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good, growing really strong. I need to tie this one up because you can see it's kind of fallen over, but almost up to the trellis, which is really good, and I'm really happy. Also, if you're new here and you don't know, I lost a bunch of my tomato plants. I thought it was disease, but I think it was some kind of drift of some sort, some herbicide damage of some sort. So I lost some of my tomato plants to that, and then I also lost some of my tomato plants in my cherry tomato bed. The herbicide damage was in my slicer bed, but I lost some of the cherry tomatoes to my dogs getting in the garden and tearing it up. So if you see smaller plants a little bit more behind, that is mainly because I had to replant a bunch of stuff just because it got torn up or was torn out because of herbicide damage. So yes, that's what happened, and that's why you see smaller plants, but they will do just fine. I just might have a little bit later of a harvest of tomatoes this year. Okay, then right next to the Sun Gold cherry tomatoes, we have this tomato plant called Barry's Crazy Cherry. These two plants right here are the ones that I started from seed, that did not get torn out. They're doing really good actually, and this one has some cherry tomatoes on it that in not too long we'll be harvesting, which is really super exciting. You can see this one is huge, almost to the top of the trellis, but doing really good. And then this one has 2 leaders, you can see there, and I really need to get out here and put up tie up a bunch of tomato plants. I just haven't been able to yet, but that'll get done sometime this week. I also need to get in here and prune because there's things like suckers here that need to be picked. So I need to do that as well. Need to get in here and do some maintenance stuff, but that's the cherry tomato bed. Then over here on the arch trellis, this was supposed to be cucumbers, but all the things that all the seeds that I've tried to plant, all the sprouts that have come up have become slug dinners. So all the slugs have completely demolished them, and I think that I'm gonna have to start some of the cucumbers so that I can get those planted, because all of my cucumbers have been eaten except for this one Mexican gherkin cucumber little start that sprouted. It was the only one that sprouted, and it's doing pretty good. It's just kind of gotten a slow start, but hopefully it'll take off here soon. It's doing really, really good, and it hasn't been eaten by anything, so that's a blessing. And I'm really happy that that's surviving. And then over here, we had marigolds, but obviously they got eaten by something. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to end up pulling these out because all of my marigolds that I have planted this year have just completely gotten demolished inside in this garden, and it's kind of frustrating, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. And then on the other side of this arch trellis is my pole beans, which are doing amazing. You can see this green bean here, which is, I mean, almost ready. Like, I could probably pick it at this size, but I think I'm gonna let it go one more day. And then you can see we have a bunch more that are about to this size. And so I'm gonna have to come out here and start picking about tomorrow or so. So that's super duper exciting, and you can see they're just taking off. Eventually they'll just completely cover this trellis, which makes me so happy. And then over here in this bed, I actually have all my bush beans. I had to reseed them because a bunch of my bush beans got eaten, but the rest of them, you know, are doing fine. I've reseeded them, and they're all coming up really, really well. I have a few from my first round of seeds that I planted that are doing pretty good, and hopefully we'll start producing here soon, which makes me super happy. But this bed is doing a lot better than it was, and hopefully we'll get a good harvest from this. Which I'm really excited about. Over here in this bed, this is my slicer bed, but it has a bunch of different things. So right here we have a classic beefsteak tomato, which you can see is topped, and I did that in effort to save this plant because the top was completely curled and I did not know what to do. So it has survived being topped because I hoped that it would grow a sucker in this armpit. It has yet to do that, and I don't know if it will. So who knows if I will pull that out or not, but for now I'm just leaving it. And then over here I have a black crim. This is this Cherokee purple tomato. This is a striped German tomato, and that over there is a Roma tomato. So all of these are actually doing really good, and that makes me super duper happy. Over here I have some marigolds, again kind of basically eaten. And then over here, in this pot, I have some, I think this is cinnamon basil. Yeah, cinnamon basil. And then over here is some lemon thyme that's variegated, which is absolutely beautiful. Just doing amazing, which makes me super happy. And then in the back of this bed, this pepper has been eaten, like topped basically by something. I don't know what it was. So I'm probably gonna have to pull this pepper out, but this is my early jalapeno pepper, which is really sad because I really liked that pepper plant, but you know, it happens sometimes, you know, sometimes things get eaten. Over here we have the zinnias, which are doing pretty good actually, surprisingly. So I actually topped these zinnias, which you can kind of see there. I topped them and so that they would be bushier, and they're actually doing really, really well, which makes me super happy. This one's doing really, really good. And then I have a sunflower over here doing amazing. Never grown a sunflower before, but it's doing really, really good. So that makes me super duper happy. Okay, so I am having problems with my camera, so we are going to switch over to some phone footage, just because I need to get this garden tour filmed. And so yeah, so let's continue this garden tour. Okay, so this is the pepper bed. I have my 2 bell peppers here, which are doing really good. I have a little bit of insect damage, but not terrible. I have like these little black beetles that kind of like eat on my pepper plants every year, but it never prohibits them, so I'm not really worried about it. If it gets really bad, I might do something about it, but for now it's fine. So I have 2 bell peppers, and then over here I have sweet goodness banana peppers, and those 2 are doing really good. And then I had a fish pepper here, but if you saw last week's garden tour, I told you that it got torn out. I don't know how it got torn out, but oh, look, ha, look at that. That's so funny. Oh, it's still alive. Wait. It is. It never got torn out. Ah, sweet. Okay, well, that was fun. That was a fun little surprise. So, it, like, I don't even know what happened. But, it's not torn out. That's nice. So, it is just fine. Well, there's our fish pepper plant. That's interesting. Well, there's a, what even is that? Is that a slug or a roly-poly? I think there's a bunch of slugs on this. Gross. Okay, well, I will come out here and deal with that in a minute. All right, let's go over to the deck to look at everything over there. Okay, so as you can probably tell, we're running out of light, so let's finish this up really, really quickly. So up here on my deck, everything's doing really, really good, which makes me super happy. So I just want to show you everything that's going on here, and then we will wrap this up. Okay, so here at this brown deck container, we have 2 marigolds that are doing amazing. I love the coloring on this. We have a lemon basil, shishito pepper, which is doing amazing, some parsley, and then in that container we have dahlias that are doing amazing. They have just continued to bloom and are just doing really, really good. More marigolds, some Genovese basil. This is lettuce leaf basil, but I have not still been able to plant it. I need to do that. But I'm gonna plant it in this pot. If you saw my last video, I was planting a bunch of these starts, and I was gonna plant it over in the green stalk, but I decided to put it in this pot, so I need to plant that. And then over here, I just have some pretty pink flowers in like a hanging basket, really nice. I know what these are called, but I forget the name. And then over here in the green stalk, we have a bunch of different things. So the green stalk is kind of a mixture of ornamental things and a bunch of different herbs. So on this top tier, we have some oregano, we have some dill, marigolds, chamomile, which I'm pretty sure is dying, marigolds, and then we have a plant called a polka dot plant, which is actually doing really, really good. On the second tier, we have some parsley, which I started, some rosemary that got torn out by my dog. It was on the bottom tier, and I tried to replant it to save it, but I don't think it's coming back, so that's dead. Over here, we got some more dill, doing good, a vinca vine, just doing amazing, sprawling and doing awesome, a attempted zinnia, which it looks terrible. I thought this was a marigold, but I have no clue what it was. I just stuck it in this pocket because I thought it was a marigold. I don't think it is anymore because it's like curled or whatever, so I think I'm gonna pull that out. Which I showed you this parsley. Then here we have 2 empty pockets, third tier. This is lemon thyme, is the variegated thyme that I have in my garden as well. A vinca vine. This is some lemon basil, doing good. A polka dot plant. Empty pockets. This is all empty. You have a polka dot plant again. This one's doing so good. And then more polka dot plant, more polka dot plant. I have a lot of polka dot plants. And then another one. And that's pretty much it for the green stalk. So the green stalk is doing good. I need to get in here. I think I'm going to just put some seeds in the empty pockets to fill those out. But doing really good overall. So that is it for the garden tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all those good things. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.